Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. My name is Sean Driver. We're here. It's FA Cup day. It is the fourth round. It is the Blackburn Rovers. And I'm up for this one. An interesting lineup both for both teams and for different reasons. A couple of things to announce. It looks like my audio is working. It looks like everything's set up. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit off. If you are unfamiliar, I had an appendix removed recently, and so I'm a little bit tender. I don't anticipate to be as excitable as I normally am. Not a lot of prep done into this, so there might be a couple of gremlins that run out and grab us as moving around still a bit of a challenge. Tried to do a review of the lineup. Look, let's bring up both of them one at a time and stop this scrolling through just so that I can chat about it and see what your guys' thoughts are on the lineup. So let's slowly go through this if I can. Oh, man, I am slow. The brain is not functioning. I don't know if you understand it. Let's start with us first. So Ogonkwo obviously starting in goal. What's interesting to me, O'Connell draws in. You've got Tunnicliffe who's returning, Hayden who's returning. They played in a reserve match on Wednesday, and so they should be good to go. I am sort of surprised by O'Connell. I know that there's much love for him. I'm not in. I mean, He's a Wrexham guy, so I'm a fan of him. But on the list of where I've got the center backs, I don't have him as high as most. That's probably the nice way to put it. I think he's slow of foot. I think he's challenged in getting the ball up. His passing struggles. But let's hope that I'm wrong and he has himself a cracker of a game because I still have my doubts. I would have looked for Hayden or Tunnicliffe to draw in. Depending on their health. I know Tunney's not had a lot of experience so far this season because of injuries. I still would have preferred it as an option. So I don't know what your thoughts are. What's more interesting with O'Connor being out due to the ankle injury, Cleworth, Max, the young guy flipping over to the other side. What's interesting to me about this is Smodic is their offense. He's got 16 goals. He's their threat, and he tends to come by fleet of foot. I'm curious to see whether he sees as the target. Being a midfielder, I believe from my limited experience, he comes down more the right side, which would be now the side that Max is on. So could be quite a challenge in the back. That's going to be a huge sort of sub-story to the game is what happens there. Barnett need the pace on the wing. I get it. That's fine. Over 40. Cannon, Evans, Lee, those are our three best midfielders as we can put out there, and that's anticipated. Mullins drawing in. Dalby, interesting. See how he does playing the foil role with Mullen and go through that. So, excuse me. I don't know what your thoughts are. I'm still waiting for you guys have pickup. ESPN's doing preview stuff. I'm jumping onto Sportsnet, but typically they don't jump in until right before the whole thing, and that's true. I've got it here. I'm going to have to go through that process. So I am in the dark as to the preview. So if you are watching, I've put some of the links down below. ESPN in the US, Sportsnet in Canada, Paramount. Oh, and I spelt it wrong. Paramount in Australia, New Zealand. If there are other options that are out there, by all means, let me know who they are and where they are, and I can add those to the list as well. Where are we? And then I'll go through. I'm sure there's been a lot of, hey, how are you? And stuff like that. I haven't looked at anything because I'm just a little bit slow. So forgive me. It's an exciting one here. Hey, let's put it into perspective before I go to their roster. They're 2 tiers above us for a reason. And yes, they're at the bottom of the league. Yes, they've only won once in league competition since December 1st. They've got a win over, no, it wasn't Huddersfield. I can't remember who their win was back in early December. And they did take out Cambridge United in the third round of the FA Cup in earlier January. John, you're spoiled. And Andrew's even more spoiled. If you don't know, Andrew's in Blackburn. And I'm anticipating that he's going to try to send some links and some photos. And I've seen a couple. He's obviously logged in briefly because he sent a couple of things. A couple of messages. So he's watching as a mob of the 7,000. I haven't heard anything about the ticket sales. So it'll be interesting to see what all transpires there once I get eyes on, because if I bring up, I'm just going to bring it up here, watch channel. I'm assuming that it's not on because it says it doesn't start until 11:30. Their lineup, an interesting one. Obviously, I didn't do as much of a dive into things as I normally do. Do I know a lot about Blackburn other than their history, the fact that they've got 3 Prem titles, one of the oldest clubs around, and some history? Not really. There was some discussions I had about who was bigger and who was larger, and I was like, do you take into consideration the global crowd? Because we've got you covered by probably 8 to 10 times as far as global fans go, but certainly a longer, well, not a longer history, but a more storied history as far as top level competition. And they're in the championship for a reason. They're going to be a solid club. That doesn't mean it's not there for the taking. And we will see how that all transpires. An interesting lineup for them, and I'll just bring their roster over in. They've gone with their backup goalkeeper. He started pairs was started weeks 1 through 9, and then he's been off until January 20th. He played a Premier League 2 game, and then he had a game on January 20th with Huddersfield. So he's drawn in the backup, less experienced guy there. What's more interesting for me is, as far as minutes go, their number 2, 3, 4, and 5 guys are all out of the lineup. That's Carter, Pickering, Britton, and Wharton. And I should say, not Scott Wharton. He's drawn in. I don't know if they're related, but they've got the same last name. That's 2 defenders and a couple of midfielders that are not in their starting lineup. 2 of them, I believe, are injuries. I haven't seen injury reports on Britton or Wharton to say that that's the reason that they're out, if this is just their skipper giving them a break or what the deal is. I don't know. So we shall wait and see what happens there. Smojic is the problem for Wrexham. 16 goals, and Kim's got it entirely covered. And let me, since I've got it up and I've set this all up to make sure I can do it. And I've got to mute my microphone as I'm bringing in hockey highlights through my headphones. Smojic is the problem for Wrexham. 16 goals. That he's far and away the next person on the list that has the second highest number of goals is Sigurdsson, who's number 7, who's got 5. Let's go Wrexham. Lots of people drawn in here. Nick's drawn in. I see you there. John MG says 7,200 sold for us, and the other stands other than behind 1 goal aren't full. I don't think that they've sold more than we have, or it's pretty close. And considering we're going to be packed into one stand, I fully expect, once I see everything, that it's going to be one loud raucous side behind the goal in one area, and then subdued throughout. Call it what you want. There's been 2 theories that are out there. One, Blackburn doesn't care about the FA Cup. They want to focus on the championship and avoiding relegation. And this is just a nonsense game. And who cares? It's Wrexham. And they think, I guess there's 3. Some think they're going to handle it easily. So why even show up and spend the money? And then there's some that say they're scared. And so the fans don't want to be a part of the documentary. They kind of want to ignore it and leave this as a blip and just put it away. I am pumped for this one. Whenever you get the magic of the FA Cup, Michael, you're exactly right. This is where all of the fun is. Sigurdsson next on the list as far as scoring total with 5. After those 2, 16 goals for Smojic, 5 for Sigurdsson. Nobody else on the team has more than 2 goals in the league competition. What's also interesting, if you look at their lineup, they've got 3 guys who don't have numbers, and 1 who I assumed his number, but they're all young guys that they've recently just added to the club. Christian, who's on loan from Aston Villa, 20-year-old, don't know his number. Ayari, who's on loan from Brighton, don't have his number. Patrick Gamble, who I did put his number. He's in, and I don't know. It seems, as I see it, he's a local academy product, and so maybe getting an opportunity to run up there. And then they've got Atchison, who I've got as their 17-year-old U18 academy player. So bringing up some youth in this one to potentially get a shot. I don't know if they're going to be subbed in or not. We'll have to see how that goes. But you've got some young bodies lined up in this one, and we'll see how it goes. No new videos other than the ones that I've produced before the last week. You guys have only seen, I think, the Mullen one. I haven't played any others, but I haven't put as many. I haven't done any more because obviously surgery. So it is what it is. Hey, another thing, and I'll send this one out specifically out to Sandy, is I haven't put this one out on social media as far as putting it out there. So if somebody wants to do me a favor, just because moving around for me is a pain, it's a challenge. I'm going to sit comfortably in my chair for this thing and just try to, if it's clickable, I will do it, but I'm trying not to type, trying not to search for this one. But if you get a chance, can you guys go to social media, grab the share link, hit the share button, put it out on social media, say, hey, we're over here watching, try and draw in as many people as we can. The subscriber thing that pumps up, that's fine. That's great. I'm just looking forward to having a good time, getting to know the community. And this is really, I love this stuff. I'm living for it, and it's a ton of fun. And so, yeah, sign it up. It's rated there. That's a shocker. And there's the report. See, I normally do all these things, pull the weather, pull all that sort of stuff. I don't have a chance to do that this time. Toxic Jackalogan, and that's a new name for me. And I do have to say, and I don't know, we are Wrexham. If you're here, I apologize. The video came out. I've seen it. I want to put it out there. It's now post-dated. That's a byproduct of me not feeling good, being completely out of it and struggling. And so I'll have to send off an email and an apology because that's on me. Just with everything going on, I was holed up in a bunch of pain, sitting in a hospital room, trying to figure out when I was going to get in to get the thing yanked out and hoping it wasn't going to rupture in the interim. So didn't have an opportunity to do any postings or anything for a while. So that's on me. So I just wanted to get that one out there. We are 13 minutes away. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? Lineup, otherwise, feel free to throw it out in the comments. For me, I'm okay with our lineup. Parky knows best. But if I was drawing into our perfect lineup, I'd be taking Dalby out in favor. I could have an argument for Palmer or Fletcher, depending on health. So Dalby, an interesting one for me, but I do think that he's an upgrade on Bickerstaff at the moment. Mullen's got to get something going. It's been a while. And so maybe it's the change of pace and going back to Dalby that's going to be able to do that. Let's see. Other than that, I don't know what your take is on O'Connell, Cleworth being swapped over from the right side to the left side. I guess it depends on where Smodic goes, because somebody better be in his pocket, and whether that's George Evans. Yellow card accumulation. He picked up that yellow card in the last... And I'm thinking about this. Yellow card accumulation for a manager, because I thought he picked that yellow card up not in the FA Cup game that happened back in the third round, but that he picked that up on the last weekend. One more thing for me to look up, but I didn't do that. Yeah, I massive apologies. I saw it and I was like, hey, this is awesome. And there's going to be certainly a segment of the community that's going to like that video. And I was stoked to put it out there and see what it was. And then I'll do it tomorrow. And then I'm in pain and I'm going to deal with this. And so it's sort of been a mess. And so, yeah, so that was my recollection too, John. And so if you picked it up at Newport, then that's the yellow card accumulation, just so that you're aware. And I've done a video for this if you haven't seen it with respect to players. And there is a separate section for technical crew. So that's coaches, managers, physios, if somebody ends up getting yellow or a red. And I didn't review that section, and that's on me when I did that video. Yellow card accumulations are competition specific. So if you pick them up in league competition and you get a suspension for yellow card accumulation, you serve that in that competition. If red cards transfer over. And so there is a notable difference there. I assume that because he's suspended and he picked it up in the Newport one, that for the technical crew, it goes on. But as I've come to experience, when it comes to the coaching staff, yellow card accumulation is a very frequent phenomenon in the football world. And so I'm not that concerned about it. He's had his say, he's picked his lineup. He's had a run of getting his strategy out to the boys throughout. It'll might be a little bit less enthusiasm at the half, but it'll all run ahead in any event. So, already got 47 people in here. That's impressive. That's awesome. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe button if you want to. Oh, I didn't set the subscribe button up this time, that you had to join to chat. Things that I normally do. Hopefully I don't. Maybe I should have to bring it up now to kick out the rowdies. He's on the touchline. Huh. Well, we'll see what happens. I've read the article that he was suspended. I don't know the status of it. I don't know. And the ad just came up for Wrexham and Blackburn, and they've had Jones celebrating in a goal in the background. As I was sitting there, I was like, what's going on? This is just an ad on Sportsnet during a commercial break while they're playing the plays of the month to push the games coming up. And of all the clubs that they could end up showing, and they are live, finally. Let's bring this up. And I'm going to throw this into my ear and enjoy the sights and sounds. And as I expected, sort of, I mean, there will be more people come in as we're still 9 minutes away from getting things started. The FA Cup. BBC for free. The other ones are down below if you're trying to follow along. Feel free to listen to Mark Griffiths and follow the chat. Listen to me on top of Mark Griffiths. Listen to the broadcast wherever you are. Do whatever you're doing. The one request, and I'll repeat this a couple of times, is we are all going to be all over the map as far as latency and what our viewing is. I end up receiving it from Sportsnet in Canada. I end up pumping what I'm watching as I'm seeing it. I will be behind you. And it could be a significant difference because sometimes the latency is pretty bad between the two countries, different. So there it is, Scott. And is the other one Adam? Do I have that right off the top of my head? Anyway, thanks for looking that up. They are brothers. One's a defender, one's a midfielder. Scott is drawing in. Denise, good morning to you. Good afternoon, wherever. Maybe it's nice to leave this one unblocked. Hopefully I don't end up having to punt a bunch of people. Can I do that from this screen? No, I can't. See, that's going to be the challenge. Draw back this YouTube channel to align with where you're watching from to avoid any spoilers. Or if you don't, and you see a goal, you see a penalty call, you see a card, you see somebody getting angry, keep it to yourself until I'm able to catch up to you. And I appreciate that can be a pain in the butt, but there are going to be a lot of people here who love the aspect of the community, like enjoy the opportunity to chat and follow along and get whatever they get from me and from coordinating with everybody, just being part of the fans. And so let's not spoil it by putting out spoilers. So let's leave that at that. Right, Travis? I mean, it is a Monday off. I will be working this afternoon at some point, but sore bellies make it hard to do their thing. So 18th place Blackburn Rovers in the championship. One win in their league competition since December 1st overall. One in the league, one FA Cup. They started well, struggled for a while, and they're really a one-horse town. Smodich all day, and that's who we're going to be watching for. That's a brilliant idea. Something for me to do down the road. I'm not going to get that done. I did have a chat etiquette thing that popped up, but I don't think anybody ever read it. But I do think, yes, you're right. A pop-up that shows up that says that. I'm not going to be able to get to that today. So we'll just have to scream and yell and rant and rave to make sure nobody throws out the spoilers. Oh, boy. So no comments on the lineup. Everybody just puts their faith in Parkey and says, let's march forward. Anybody else have thoughts about, am I wrong on O'Connell? And how much? I don't want to talk about what's next. Is that a curse? Are we allowed to talk about the next round? I mean, I'll just say it. I'm hoping that Elliot Lee brings a hell of a game. That's all I'll say. He's got a reason to bank one out, but he's had about 3 or 4 games of what do we call average, which for him is poor. And then Ben Tozer, a celebration, 600. John says solid lineup. I do think it's solid. And yeah, I'm jealous. Andrew's there. I'm going to have to bring up Facebook on this. I might throw my screen off a little bit here. Where am I? But I do want to bring up not a big deal there. Because I imagine he's going to send me some stuff through Facebook, and if he does, I did slow it down temporarily, maybe. Okay, so it is going to take some time, and it might slow me down a little bit here. We'll see how we do. But if he sends anything over, I will make sure to add it over here. Yeah, no Pickering, no Carter, no Britton, no Wharton, a Wharton, the brother. Fletcher's not even in the I put reserves. Andrew, don't kick me. Andrew's not here. It should be substitutes. The byproduct of those old graphics is sometimes they come back and bite me in the butt. But Andrew there, and so that'll be exciting to potentially get some videos and some chats like that as the players are getting ready with. They call the kids mascots in the UK, and I think that's brilliant. Should be a good one. Blackburn's going to be hungry. Nobody wants to be have a downside, a step down during the documentary and become a part of an episode. We're going to follow along there. Oof. So that is, as I said earlier, their number 2, 3, 4, and 5 top Minutemen are out. So this is Smodic and Smodic all day. I am way better than I was. For anybody who's never had appendicitis, and mine didn't rupture, thank God, because I've heard, and Sandy, not to put that out there, informed me, I won't say from where, and the source, that it can be exceptionally painful. But it's, I caught it before. It's just uncomfortable, but I don't dare complain. Let's be honest. I had a third of a pound removed from 3 tiny little incisions. There are people who go through a lot worse, and so I'm not going to get too into it. Awesome. And in Finland, what's the channel? I mean, I guess I could put that out there if there's other Finns that are here. So yeah, it's just, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not able to to sit for extended periods does get a little bit exhausting. So you'll see me shift and shimmy and hopefully I don't get too excited that I end up blowing out the stitches and the glue. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, those jerseys look sexy with the FA Cup patch on the right shoulder, don't they? Look, George Evans is a key with Smodic, and whatever side Smodic ends up attacking is going to be a key to this one. Got to find a way to, I don't know if you can stop them, but just maybe try to contain them. And we're going to have to look to our big guys. Lee, you want to get into it. Mullen's got to pick up the game a little bit. We've had a little bit of a step back through the doldrums of December, January. We've had some time off, and there's the man we'll be watching, number 8, Smodic, all the way out as the players are making their way out. Doesn't it just feel good? And look at that stand over in the corner, just jacked. Out sing them, lads and lasses, get into it, bring the boys up. An interesting, our away schedule, our away record, not that positive, especially in league competition, but hopefully we can put that one to bed here, go on, grab this one, move on to the next round. I'm not going to say who's waiting. We're going to leave that alone. It's Sheffield United. Like last year, we knew who was waiting for us, Tottenham at that point, and everybody got excited. Shall not say their name until it's time to say their name. For us, it's Blackburn, and away we go. 5'6", fast, quick. He's got a boot. He's also a bit of a bulldozer. Some of his highlights, he just ends up running kind of with ball at feet and goes through people. And so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see whether McFadden and Hayden draw in. Tunney draws in on the back line here and what Max and O'Connell can do. McLean and Barnett, I think, are flipped on that screen. Oh, it's facing the other way. I was looking at the graphic trying to figure it out and was like, that doesn't look right. Let's just get into it. 10 minutes. Do we expect a full press from Blackburn just to follow the lead that everybody else does? And I hope we go from left. Oh, which way is the camera facing? From left to right in the second half. I want the players to go exactly the way they're going. Us away from our. And then you lose the feed. Don't do that again. All of a sudden it just dropped. I hope everybody got that, or was it just a Canadian thing or me? Panic moment, panic stricken. Yeah, first goal is key. I think for us, the first goal is like not scoring the first goal. The first plan of attack is let's survive the first 10 minutes, because I expect Blackburn, if they're smart and do what everybody else has been doing, and not even smart. Excuse me. We've seen it how many times before? Dozens of times before. Heavy pressure early in the game and try to wear us down. We're underway, and I'm a little bit behind, so I'll bump that up. So as that comes up and we match my scoreboard up here, 7 seconds ticking along with where we are in the game, I'm now at 11 seconds, so I should be pretty close. I'll add one more. That's where I'm at with this one. Wrexham going from left to right on your monitor. Blackburn from right to left. Try to match that. Draw it back if you can. And you can hear Wrexham. See, and that's perfect evidence. Getting reminded to start the clock means you guys are probably way ahead of me. 45 seconds, unless there's a different problem with the clock. So everyone on the front foot, we're going to get into it 1 minute in. Everybody's probably got a stream, but I'll talk about the game as we go along with it and try and do a little bit of color as Blackburn with early possession. And I'm going to bring up the FOT mob just so we can follow along with what they say is going on and to be able to bump the shots up as we go forward. And there comes the answer to the Wrexham chant from the Blackburn fans as the battle extends into the stands. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. 2 seconds behind, everybody's good. I'd love to be able to give you a description, but it's just Blackburn control and us keeping shape and setting up and getting stuck in here. And here they come on their first run. Just outside the area, 35, 30 yards out on the right-hand side and looking to try and get a cross in, and shape is there. Lee cross into the box. And I go down again. I'm hoping this is not going to be a continuing trend, because if it is, I'm going to lose my mind as I've hit the pause button at 1 minute and 53 seconds and I have a spinning circle. And then I'm going to hit the go live because it paused me back. So we'll see what happens here. If necessary, I can go to the TV as I've hit the refresh button and I'm now where I need to be, back caught up live. So we'll see if that happens. We're going to have to get creative here, which would suck trying to move things around so I can watch on a TV. I actually don't think I'd be able to do that. Coming into the penalty area, right foot drawed in front, chipped over top and wide. Wow, the quick through the midfield. And that was Smodic who had the chance. The one guy you don't want to have his foot on the ball in the penalty area, and he grabs it. Nice little flick through him. Smodic, late, delayed draw brought in. That was just well played. Played over to the right-hand side, and instead of taking the shot, they know who butters their bread. Little bit behind him, so he has to reach and get it. But that should have been in. Just a bit of a passing error, putting it behind him, and a little bit fortunate because by putting it behind him and he reached to go and drag that through, it went far to the right. Haven't had the ball at feet, 84%, 16%. We've only had 6 passes to 45, and they're at 96%, as we're going to have to get stuck in here and get a little bit of ball, or it's just going to be all downhill. Flipped over top. That's dangerous. Cleared away from the line. Yikes. Chipped in the air. Arthur Ogonkwo. Not so confident there, and we're scrambly. That's what I said, 15 minutes, we got to get settled in, but I thought this was going to be on a high press, trying to get turnover ball, and instead it's just Notts County-like possession, just controlling the game by Blackburn. Wow. How nervous are you guys? Yeah, he had that. He went all the way out there. He had the opportunity to grab that. I don't know why. Did he not have the opportunity to grab that? I'd like to see a replay from the right-hand side there. More control. I'm not liking this. It's this sort of pressure that we know from the flip side wears on you over time, right? When you get punch drunk, just taking shots after shots after shots. Going to be a throw in for us. Doesn't believe in scoring from sitters. Is that a typo? Or is this lingo that I don't understand? Kim, if you've never been here, by the way, usually when it's comment on the match. There's enough goals in Blackburn that you can't pull the Shrewsbury type attack and just hope to counterpunch them and sneak away with this one. We're going to have to control the ball, and we're going to have to put them on the back foot a little bit. Sitting here and allowing the waves to come forward and deal with it with the park and the bus, that's just not going to be the strategy for success. Well done there, going forward and nicking it. O'Connell, I'll give him credit. That was well done by him, and advance the ball. Is now numbers forward. Midfield, where are you? Help out Dalby all by himself. What do you do? It's all good, Denise. I'm glad to be here for you, and I'll try to keep you updated as to what's happening so far, as it sounds. Domination by one squad, and that's the byproduct of having everybody back, is you get a chance to get it forward. A great play by O'Connell to nick that and push it forward to Dalby, but 3 guys on him, trapped up against the touchline, and it just comes the other way, looking for a cross, and instead they're going to get a corner. Bounced off a Tozer. Dolan. That's 2 nice plays from Dolan. He had the pass that initiated the first opportunity by Smoldich, and then there goes and controls it on the right side and gets it. Going to be a right-footed outswinger from the right side, the left to Ogonkwo. Flat ball, headed away. Not able to control it, and it's going to go back over to the right-hand side where they're going to look for it. No, they'll draw it back out to their center backs, or their replacement center backs anyway, because they're probably still in the box. Lots of bodies forward. It's up in the air. Arthur goes up and gets it. Gets cleared out. Should be just a free kick, but they say, no, just go ahead and play it. Arthur without the mask. I get that one. I know I might get some people saying you need to do some work. This I can do. I don't want to be able to. I can't. My brain's not functioning. I'm with you, Oliver. That's what I said. Get through 15 minutes as we get a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a sniff through on the other side. Oh, nice run. A little bit too far. That was a nice run by Blackburn on the counter. And here's Max, Max is, despite the graphics and where they normally line up on their how they line up after they've Wrexham's put out their Twitter graphic. They've actually got Max on the right side, the closest to the camera for us. And there's a giveaway, and here come Blackburn the other way, put through into the box, into the penalty area. Trouble here, blocked. Ewan O'Connell, proving me wrong. That's 2. I'm taking notice. I got the scorecard going the other way. Offside, flag stays down into the front, and Smoldich clears it up, over, out to the left. That wasn't Smoldich. That was Garrett, number 30. Can't give it away. Can't give it away. Beach Bums here. How are you? Slow, but they were able to react at least. But that giveaway. Yeah, I'll give the fluff. I just like the fact that we were down on the other side for a little bit as the shots continue to tally up. I feel much better today. I mean, it's now sort of sporadic stuff and more maintenance. My head's still foggy. I don't think I'd get through a whole work day. Sit here for a couple of hours and have a mindless discussion, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Blackburn, the Rovers, coming forward again, this time down the left side. Sigurdsson draws it back. Sigurdsson with it again down the left side. Sigurdsson. Into the center. They're looking for a switch or push it through. Lots of bodies back over to Dolan on the right side. Dolan, nice little stab. Go the other way on the counter. Kick all the way through. Nice ball up to Mullen. Needs support. He's taking on 2 men. He's got Dalby running up with him, and he gets it flicked away from him. Blackburn with control now. Turning it the other way. Lumbering. Was that McLean with the nick there? And we'll give it to him. Thanks, Brendan, for identifying that. I missed who it was that had that stab there to clear that ball away. Thanks, Ruth. I'm happy to have you here. And while you're here, just another reminder. Stay on time, 11:23, and try not to spoil it. Not just to you, Ruth, but to everybody there. Scott checking in, welcome. For everybody who's logging in and getting caught up, try to limit the spoilers if you end up seeing something happening. What you've missed is basically Blackburn domination for the first 11 minutes, 83% possession, and passes are 125-16 so far. Corner of the area, 25 yards out, shot. Arthur pots it. And smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. I turned the filter off to say, usually I have a 1 minute you have to subscribe first. I didn't do that for this one. But hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and let the algorithm know that we're here, and send it out on Twitter if you get the chance, or wherever. Here we go. 12 minutes in, we've got possession and a giveaway. Bugger me. Long pass. Tozer just punts it down the left side and gives it away. Well challenged in the midfield, but here it is. Give it away and turning right in the front of the area, right in front of the box. Knockdown and trouble. Offside. Easy call to make. Everybody sort of gave up on the play, including Smodic, who took that. Oh, it was Moran? I got the same haircut. Appreciate it, Miles. Gonna hit the mute button here. Those coughs are the painful part. All of that from Tozer, nobody around him, an opportunity to look for an opportunity, and decided to pump it forward down the left side to midfield, and just got it nicked. And so I'd like to see, and it was Rob Ryan Red talking about our away form and the difference in the style that we play is we don't do what we're doing right now, which is possession and just kicking the ball and looking for opportunities, switches, and maintaining possession through the midfield. We're all the way up to the midfield stripe on Cleworth's boot. drawn back. Well done. They're playing with each other. And instead, we'd been looking for long balls statistically between home and away. And here we go. We draw it back. Tozer. See, this is settle in now, boys. Tozer over to EOC. Switches on, gets it up. Lee draws back, and he's going to have a look. Sees something, long kick up to Mullen. Great ball on the left-hand side. Mullen can't really control it there, so he leaves it for McLean on the left side. He has to do some work getting around, and he does and draws it back. Mullen put him in a bad spot there with that pass, left it a little bit short, and defenders were closing in on it at the same time as McLean was. But let's go. Max with it. Extended possession. I like this. And Barnett puts it off the defender. Howdy, Rock Chick. Nice to see you back. More possession as we're... See, just that couple of minutes of possession that we've had just here. Settle it down, in through the center backs, up to the midfield, drawn on back. Max gets it, back to Cannon. Just settle it in. Build some confidence. Max, nice play, getting around the first defender, up to the midfield stripe. Draws it back, well done. Oh, Cannon's there, filling in the gap. Pull it all the way back, and Max retreats. Everything going through Max right now. Long ball over top. Nice first touch. Dalby keeps it, and it gets kicked out by the defender, but well done. Tozer, long throw coming. Going to be right on the outside edge of his range. So this is going to be probably near post is as good as we're going to be able to do. But let's look near post, flick over to the far post. It tends to be what we do in these circumstances. And yes, that was a really nice touch by Dalby in pulling that down on his feet. All he left to defend, and here's the throw. Long throw, short post, a little bit too short. Flicked on. No. Flicked on and caught. Short play, and here come Blackburn on the counterattack. Everybody was up for that throw, and well done by Cannon dancing. And there we go. Free kick from a dangerous area. Let's go. Cannon stole that, danced by the first defender, and the only thing he had to do was to stick out the thigh, caught him, knocked him to the ground, and here it comes. The leg goes out. That'd be a 5-minute major for kneeing in ice hockey. But that was well done by Mr. Andy Cannon. Yes, that is absolutely true, Oliver. The closer that this gets, you can't see the bottom of the comment. They will get nervous with 0-0 in the 70 plus minutes. Is the longer we stay in this, the pressure starts to mount over time on the team that's supposed to be winning this. Mullen lining up. Anybody there is a decoy? No. 4 on the wall. Foot through the ball. It's there. Caught. Looked like it went right through the wall, and it did. The announcer just said right through the wall. Oh, no, it didn't. Just went right to the outside. Hey, put that one up. First shot on goal for the good guys. Boom. Let's get into it. Been much better. We're up to 66-32% at first 15 minutes. I don't know why we come out just laggy and slow, and we're gonna have to change the pre-match routine somehow to get these guys fired up. Change the song, change the message. Whatever's happening isn't working. Looking for that 2 shots, 2 goals. Well, we've already got 1 through, but collected by Arthur on that one, and here we go the other way. Arthur puts it down for Tozer. Tozer, long ball. Interesting that he decided to give it to Tozer off the ground rather than just take that with the control from Arthur. Giveaway. Mullen leaves it. Dalby searching. Sees Cannon. He's got an opportunity here on the right side. Shot. Scores! Andy Cannon with the blast. Ouch. Hey. Get into it. Get into it. And I don't have an Andy Cannon freaking video. What do I do? What do I do? I just celebrate that he had a chance wide open on the right-hand side. Pulled down by, I believe, Mullen. Clicked over, saw Dalby running past him. Gives it over to Dalby. He's screaming forward. Dalby sees Cannon wide open on that right side. Give it to him. Mullen sees Dalby, and everybody collapses on Dalby. Nobody picks up Cannon on the other side. And he says, I got this. I got the boot. Let me put it through it. Foot through ball. Back of net. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, man. I want that. That's a shot. That's a picture. That boot in the air, ball blasting through, goalkeeper going to the right with no chance. You could just see that going in all the way through, right off of his foot. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. 1-0. Good, guys. Oh, and I got to put the score up. What am I doing? Sleeping at the wheel. Get it up there. Let's go. Blackburn with an immediate answer. No, they get it back, and we settle her down. Settle it down. Max, just hoof one. Get it out, and we're okay. Whew. Smart play. Cannon goes boom. There it is right there. Very us mumblings. That sums it up. Cannon goes boom. Can you hold it together, Kim? Can you hold it together and pinch it in for 70 minutes? Let's see. Yeah, push on. Oliver's got it. Push on. Apply the pressure. Try and get rid. You're going to get a counter punch here, right? For 5 minutes, and then that counter punch is on. My belly. Oh, deep breath. Oh, a nice little interplay on the left side to keep that in play and thump it down. Oh. Oh. How? This team, it's going to kill me. I swear to God, it's going to kill me. I'm hoping I get something from Andrew, who's in the stadium, who can send something. We might be pushing the limits on what we're permitted to do, but nothing but Wrexham singing in the background. Chance in the box and cleared up, way up, out of play. Good for the field goal. And while they're doing that, I'm going to reach for some water. Ooh. Oh, I got excited. How could you not? Arthur with it under control, lined up. The game in Newport, he had, I wouldn't say uncharacteristically, he usually puts one out directly out of touch, which is always fascinating for me from a goal kick. He had 2 against Newport. I was wondering what. Oh, giveaway here. Wrexham with it. Cannon over on the left side, walking up, boot through. It's there. Oh, great save. Holy Moses. Andy puts it through, rebound, lands right at the foot. Was that Mullen? Man, I can't help it. Painkillers. Let's go. Dalby to Cannon, and it's there, and it's McLean with the left footer trying to get it over. Doesn't get full power on it because it was a little bit high, but still a hell of a save by the keeper there. Bailing him out, and we're on it. Whoo, indeed. Whoo is the word of the day. What a save. Man. Corner going to be from the left side. Out swinger from McLean, and here it comes. It's there. Danger. Oh, and it got over top, and that was Max who was there and just couldn't get his head to it. Going to have another one. Heim was able to get that out and had to, as Max was right there behind him. A little bit more KG veteran would have done a little bit more to climb his back. Maybe. I don't know. Max has been a ninja with his blocking out, though. That O'Connor goal, that was just as much a credit to Max on the block out. Here it comes from the same position. McLean out swinger. Serve it up, lads. Serve it up. It's far post, heavy, blocked away, and they're going to get a free kick out of that one. Too much pushing, too much shoving. Ooh, that's a loud individual in the stands there, screaming and yelling. Oh, we got Diamond jumping in, predicting Blackburn's going to come back on this one. We will see. Blackburn fans always welcome here. Just keep it under control. I don't want to have to start kicking people, but I love having the opposing view here when we get that chance. Hey, Jack, you're more than welcome. And if you're on Twitch or you're on Facebook, feel free to come over to YouTube if you wish. At some point in time, I may be there exclusively. Champ, Blackburn looking to advance it forward, but turned over, and Barnett collects it. Andy Cannon having himself a game, over to Barnett on the right side, blasting through all the way. Keep running, lad. It's all open. Cross all the way through. Oh! Big, long, sweeping cross from Barnett from well out, probably 35, 40 yards out, and it missed the two defenders and was right there for Mullen, but it's one of those ones where the ball goes skipping pie, and you kind of, surprise it gets to you. Here we come again. McLean, left side. Oh, got it nicked away. We are in it. We are in it. That first 15 minutes was an absolute traffic accident. But we are in it now. The push and on being on the front foot. Somebody said, I think it was John, that Parkey said he wanted us on the front foot, and we are on the front foot now. But we came in well on our heels. Oh. That's an excellent analysis by Kim. Ooh, would have been close to being offside, but it just missed the two defenders, and Mullen, you kind of wish he would have got that. Had to expect it to be there, right? Eight shots to 4. It takes me some time to get caught up, everybody, and I apologize for that. I have to do it intermittently. Possession, if you're keeping track, 66%, Blackburn 34%, much better than the 85% it got to at maximum. We're behind in expected goals if it matters to you. But 4 shots all on target. They've got 2 on target. Sorry. Dolan, I was just saying, of the players for Blackburn, he's been everywhere. Yeah, that's on me. I coughed because of my stitches and forgot to turn it on. I will be better. Arthur comes and gets it, but Dolan, for me, has been in the mix the entire time. He was the one who set up that initial opportunity they had, drawing it over to the right-hand side that Smoldich pulled wide. Arthur thumps it down. 40 yards out. Free kick. Interesting. Incidental contact, maybe. In the Philippines, Carl. Good on you for waking up, sir. I think we've got the Philippines. I'll do that at the halftime. We keep track of where everybody's from and what countries and states and provinces we haven't hit yet. 48 countries so far have joined us for a watch party. If you've never been here before, hit the like and subscribe button. Follow along as we're going for a free kick from what is this, 40 or 35, 40? Lee's there. Evans is there having a conversation. It can't be George taking this. It's 2 in the wall, touched for Lee. He moves it forward, has a shot, and hits the adjusted wall. It had shimmied over and blocked that one down. Andrew must be stoked. Well, we'll look forward to getting Andrew when he gets back, because I'm sure this is going to be a story he's going to be loving to talk about for a while. Oh, that's bad news. I hope everything's okay. I'm curious, Beach Bum, how you found that one out. Is that on Twitter, or is that did I miss it in the broadcast? As it rolls out, and we're going to get a throw in from the right side, that long play trying to get to Sigurdsson doesn't work out. Got it on the radio. All right. Never like to see that stuff. Max with the throw in from deep in our zone. Over top, headed over the midfield. Mullen's there on the race. Can he get the touch around the cornerback? Well played, well blocked out. Mullen's still there fighting all the way through, and they get control. Just needed one touch. If he had one flick of the ball, you think on that inside shoulder, he would have had a long run. All right, that link shouldn't have gone through. I know Beach Bum, you're a regular, so I'm not going to be too worried about it, but I'd prefer not to have those. Oh, John, a Wrexham fan needing medical attention. Apparently announced on the radio. There is a season 3 guaranteed. Haven't heard anything more beyond that. You can't take an Emmy-winning documentary and not have another season. And then it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. Are we iFollow or free to air? But we'll see. Blackburn with control at the middle of the pitch, trying to work through that right side. I'd say their decision making as far as their preferences, they tend to be coming down the right way more than the left. Sigurdsson hasn't had a lot of ball, which is interesting to me. I don't know if that's where they see a weakness, or it's just how the game is developing in front of them, because Sigurdsson leads the team in assists. Is it? Oh, sorry. No, that's not true. Moran does. But Sigurdsson is up there as one of their second top leading scorer and one of their top playmakers. And they're coming down the right again. Still on the right side, just inside the midfield stripe. Yeah, it's beautiful to see. Mullen's been digging into it. Lee's been on it. George has been George, and here he comes back to make a play. And you just kind of know that George is going to be in the right spot. Oh, trouble. Drawn back. Equalizer. Just a letdown on the play through. Ended up coming to the right side, and during the twist, they found that drawback pass that landed right on the boot of the player that you don't want to have land on their boot. And Smoldich pumps it through, and it's 1-1. All down that right side. They're just picking it and picking it and picking it and picking it until they find it. So drawn through, the same guy who set up Smoldich and gave him a bad pass earlier on in the first half, got it to him perfectly here. And that was Ewan couldn't get the block on the pass, and nobody there. Pulled back, and that's 2. That little draw pass in from the right to the center towards Smoldich has been on display twice now. One found the back of the net, one didn't. And there's John's prediction. There's going to be lots of goals in this one. I actually, and I'll be fair, I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw return back to Wrexham. Not that I want that, but that's what I thought. A lot of games left. Mumblins has it. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's pace on the pace. And that's why they're going down that right side so much. Be interesting if there's interviews afterwards and somebody asks that question, but that's what we've seen so far is Dalby, couple touches, and then he has to flick it away from a defender, and it ends up on a Blackburn foot. And here they come, Dolan with pace through the midfield, over the stripe. Somebody step up, and it just feels like a tsunami coming. This does not go to penalty kicks except on the replay. So this one, if it's finishes tied, there will be no added time. They will just end up blowing the whistle, and they will have a rematch in Wrexham on a Tuesday night. Giveaway. Cannon with control. Got to slow it down. Finds Barnett on the right-hand side. Yeah, amazing to me how a guy who has so many goals can be the one person who sneaks in, right? Quality goal scorers do that. Did Max let that out? He did. 35, 40 yards out, ball went to Max on the right-hand side near the touch area. He had defenders coming in, and he drew the ball back and just pulled it out. And here they come on a run all the way out. Uh-oh. It's goal. Bugger. Don't know what Arthur could have really done there. He had to come out on that. I mean, you have two options in that situation. They just, from the throw, they grab the throw. They see nobody's there on the right-hand side. Max is too far forward after that giveaway. Tozer goes over to try and... So that's Max. Sorry, Max. Hold on. So what happened there, Max had that draw and he didn't come back into position. And so by not coming back and filling that, they saw that opportunity. And that's Gallagher being smart enough to see it. And he turns, Tozer tries to fill in the gap where Cleworth was, but doesn't get there in time. Gallagher just pushes it around him. Arthur now left with Gallagher bearing down on him from 30 yards out. Does all he can do to try to run out to go and get it and beat him to it. Doesn't get there. And Gallagher just flicks it around him. And away they go. Oh, gotta make it Disney. Gotta make it Disney. Still, it's been a game. Someone phoned Dibble. So possession from Max moving forward. Good on us for responding here. Look for an opportunity down the left side. McLean with it cross, and we're going to get a corner out of that. No, it ends up staying in play and gets cleared. And that was an excellent clearance, probably out of range. Yeah, terrible play by Ogonko. I just don't know what he does, Francis. Like, what do you do in that circumstance where you either sit back and try to take away the angle and hope you can do it, or you run out there and hope you can dislodge the ball before he gets settled? He ran out there, didn't get the ball first, and got around. Max with it over the midfield stripe. Down the right-hand side to Barnett. Barnett towards the center of the pitch. Draws it back, leaves it for George. George in the middle of the pitch. Where's he going to go? Over to Lee on the left side. Drawn back to the center backs, and away they move. O'Connell forward. Not the guy who wants leading the offense, but here he is. McLean. Lee. Out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in, still 40 yards out. It hasn't been his best performance, let's be fair, but I wouldn't say that he's shocking typically. He's usually one of our most impressive players on the pitch, but this is... And that's where I am with it. He's been quality all season, more than quality. He's been impressive all season. He's had a letdown. I don't think you can fault him for the first one. And that second one, I don't know what you do in that circumstance. You have to make the commitment one way or the other, and if it goes in, you're going to judge him either way. If he sat back, we would have yelled he should have come out. He didn't get there. He made the call, committed to it, didn't work out. Oh, it's a beautiful Monday. Lots of time in this one, and we've been in it. We just like to see if there's ever been a call for a pacey center back during the window, though. Is this it? Brendan just echoing my thoughts. You want to talk about a summary of this game? Designs to move forward, designs to hold our position and move forward. Pacey center backs, and whether that's Hayden toughening up and playing through pain and niggling injuries, maybe finding a whole second half of the season to play. I wouldn't bank my money on it. Blackburn with it now, control, moving up and having a sniff right side again, just weaponizing that right side. pushed it through, and Dolan not able to reach that, and it gets past him, and we're going to get a kick. Yeah, Oliver with it. That's the danger when you go looking for it, when you've got a team with they've shown their class so far. Yeah, we keep saying it. We're still waiting. January window's closing, and all I hear are strikers, which, I mean, I'll take them, especially if they're in that 24 to 27 window. But I want me some center backs, please. Unable to keep control in the midfield there from the play forward. Ball's on the floor, and Blackburn comes away with it down the right side. Into the center, giveaway. Tozer there. They're going to get a free kick, and referee didn't like something said to him by Cannon and gave him a stop. And he got the stanky eye from the referee, did Cannon. Or was it McLean? They just showed McLean. Yeah, a lot of people still banking. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Tunney, right? Because of the streaming stuff in the National League. A lot of people saying that he's one part of the answer. I would have liked to have seen if he was healthy. I know that he hasn't played in a while, but I'd like to see him today if possible. Right side again for Blackburn. Up to Dolan, push too far. I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again and getting to really know the players down that right side. Well, we have a break, 64% possession, 36% for us, 10 shots to 5, shots on goal, 4-4. Arthur, big thump. Down the left side, skips past everybody, and Mullins over there, able to try and get control. And he gets knocked down, and McLean comes running through. Ball still there. McLean, well done to just bully that one through. Cannon over to the right-hand side. Barnett, serve it up into the penalty area. There's the cross, far post, too far. Mullen knocks it down. Can he get control? He does. What do you do with it? In the penalty area, draws it back to McLean. McLean, lots of sniffing around, looking for openings. Can't find any, draw it back. And here comes EOC to set it up for McLean on the left. Draws it back to George Evans. Draws it back to Ben Tozer. And we're at the midfield stripe after that one. Yeah, international center back with some caps would be amazing. I'll just take some pace. Get somebody who's quick, and a giveaway there in midfield. And here we come screaming back the other way. Gallagher for Blackburn, the guy who scored the second goal, draws it back to the center backs, and they settle it down. Yeah, I think if you saw more, Ogonkwo is an exceptional keeper, absolute class. He's going to be somebody who, if he doesn't play for Nigeria, would be shocking at some point in his career. He's young. He's got great stock. He's massive and athletic, and he usually makes the right call. Usually. The only downside that I have on his game is his restarts are a little bit off, but I'm okay with it because he stops ball. That's what he's supposed to do. Getting close, 42 minutes here. The fans have quieted a little bit over after that second goal. Cannon, having himself a game, is able to flick that one forward sort of wild and out of control on a half volley, and Blackburn's able to collect it, and here they come. And here, just on cue, I said that, and Wrexham fires it up. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Moving funny. Arthur stops that from going out of play and plays it over to Max. Max has been having himself a game too. You add those to the list. And Max, just because of his age, he's that young guy that I think has the chance to build up through this. Whoa. Well tackled, I guess. Said he got the ball. Barnett's still on the ground. Oh, he did give advantage. I didn't see a symbol from him that he was playing advantage. I don't know. That was a close one to a foul for me, but I will take it all the same. I thought he got ball. I didn't think the cleats and studs were up. Obviously, Barnett got cleared out a little bit as the rain is pouring down. I'm interested to see as Brendan's working on his flop counter there, and I'll wait for this. This is going to be 40 yards out, crossed in, and it's there. It's down, and it almost landed at Max's feet. 4 feet over to the left, and he would have had that one, I think. Hey, we found another Blackburn fan. Welcome. You're more than welcome to stay here. Just be civil. And Blackburn coming forward again into the penalty area. Trouble on that right side. Everything. Absolutely. I don't think Dolan now into the penalty area on that right side. Draws it into the middle, and it's nicked. Collected up. Dalby stops, collects it again, tries to flip it forward, but can't do it. Blackburn collects it, and that's that. I was saying is now Blackburn's just kicking it about around the midfield stripe with possession. MLS introducing some interesting rules next season where if a player's down for 15 seconds, longer than 15 seconds after a collision, they have to go off the pitch for a period of 2 minutes, which is fascinating. Stopping the diving, stopping the flopping, trying to have a look at that in the sport. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. They have another one too. If you take longer than, I think it's 10 seconds for substitution, then the sub's got to stay off for a minute, play short. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like next season as for at least North American fans. The whole flopping thing is something that we don't have a lot of patience for. 2 minutes of added time before we get to the half. Not a lot of shots back and forth. It's pretty much been equal punch, counter punch moving forward. And here we have an opportunity. McLean knocks it down and whistle blew. Free kick to Blackburn. Lee ended up with a foul there in some regard, and I missed it. Was away from the ball. Must have been a hold or a grab or something that let that ball roll through to Mullen. I hope that's not a spoiler, Michael. Not offside? Horrible ball through. Fuck. Michael, come on. Just laid off. That was just I think we're going to get to the second half. Nobody picking up on the ball from the center. It came all the way from the midfield stripe. Just an easy pass. Smoldich not offside, clearly on by a foot and a half. And that was Max and Tozer. He just filled the gap between the two. Went on a run. Parkinson suspended, picked up a yellow card. That's his third, and so he's out. I mean, it's an interesting game because it only solidifies exactly what we've been saying for the whole time, even though we've been doing well in League Two, is we need to get some pacey center backs. That was a unfortunate, sad, frustrating defensive let-off. That was Max and Tozer not recognizing that they were going to have a crack here. Everybody just thinking they were going to kick it around for the last minute till we got to the whistle. Wrexham looking to respond. Collision, and they're going to give us a free kick here. In a dangerous spot, this calls for the Mullen boot. McLean ends up getting wiped out there, and we've got a chance. This would be nice to make it a game, come back, and 3-2 is different than 3-1. Smodich? Am I mispronouncing it? Or did I say Zmodich? Smodich? If my pronunciation is wrong, sorry, I went to YouTube to make sure I had that right. Oh, who is on Smodich? See, that's the question. Didn't find out. You've got the threat. We all know he's the threat, and he's just able to find nothing but acres of space. So this is going to be Mullen lining up on the ball, going to put his foot through it, through too high. Frustrated whistle blows, and we go to the half. So we're at the half, 3-1 to the bad guys. See if the shots get updated here. 11-6 at the half. Run through those details. No scores to run through. No details. Just this one. Hey, Denise. Denise's husband gets a bonus prize. 11 shots to 6, 5 to 4 on target, 3 shots to 1, 90% passing. 90% passing. Blackburns look solid, as you'd expect a championship team to do. Was hoping that we'd be able to find Smodic and defend them. We can't. Not a good half. Is what it is. Frustrating, absolutely. I would have liked to have set this up to bring somebody in for to chat during the half. Just not enough opportunity for me with how my week went to get everything all set up. I've got work to do, both real life in the office and otherwise. We can still hope, Tattoo. I mean, we've had Walsall, obviously, illness. Well, we say it was illness. Shrewsbury, we were still there. We've got that opportunity. I'm not going to say never. I mean, you make it 3-2 and you put the pressure on, and there's still that opportunity there. Yeah, 10 minutes. I would argue a little bit more than that. I think we probably had 15, 20 minutes of solid play. It was just really Max sleeping on getting back, and it was young guy not focused, and then Max and Tozer, no excuse on that one really on either of them. It's small ditch. You have one guy to just know where he is at all times and be in his pocket. And I mean, that talks to the quality of a player who, even when he knows he's the only threat. I like this because it's not the Yanks that, or the Yank and a Canadian. Let's be fair, Rob's Canadian, and it always boggles my mind that a good thing for the sport is always seen as being negative. And I'm always happy to talk about stuff like this and express my views, and I do it on Twitter all the time. Is the Football-Led Fan Review came out with an assessment of the quality of management of the league, and they said this gambling for promotion and the benefits that come with it is not something that football wants. So what do we want to do? We want to make it such that football earned revenue is the source and benefit of what a team should be able to spend going forward. We don't want to have unsustainable practices where owners are just funding the team. The owners aren't funding Wrexham. The fans are funding Wrexham. I'm funding Wrexham. We are funding Wrexham to the tune of 20 million quid plus now. I mean, we're selling out of jerseys, selling out away days. Everybody's, even a 3-1 halftime 4th round cup frustration. It's still glorious days for this club. And it's glorious days because it's our money that's loading up Wrexham. And so when they sign players, transfer money or otherwise, that's us. That's not them. There has been 2.7 million pounds, other than the original purchase, 2.7 million pounds of money has been spent on the club by the owners. And that was for one purpose, to secure the race course back into the club's name on a go-forward basis. It's protected by covenants, so it can't be used for any other purpose. So the trust did their job. There's so much brilliance around the management of Wrexham that, despite the story, despite the quality, that's what we don't talk about, is just the exceptional managerial prowess by R&R to put the wheels in motion to allow Wrexham to become into a massive revenue generator. That's what football needs. And if the English can't figure that out, then that's on you guys. That's on you guys. I'm happy to have a Welsh club climb the ladder and show you the way. So that's my rant for the half. I mean, it's honest to God, it's the dumbest thing I've seen. It defies all logic to sit there and end up saying, "Oh, we're sinking the money." And you know what? I'll be honest. I think where it comes from, I think the broadcasters, to be fair, are too stupid to realize sports governance and how important it is on the club, and so they don't send out that message. There's no communication they don't have. In Canada, we have Ron McLean. Ron McLean knows the business of hockey, and he's your regular intermission guy for every Saturday night. So you can get all of the stories and get caught up on why certain things matter. Wrexham is going to be fine. We're not destined to be a Premier League team by any stretch, but we may be. But I think we're a championship team. See, but bad comparison for two reasons. The NFL has 2/3 of their clubs are profit generators, and a third aren't. And I don't know why that's a bad thing. It's all about money. Why is football not all about money? There's collective bargaining in the United States. Why isn't there collective bargaining in football? Well, I know why. It's because there's international leagues all over the place. Is it that you don't want to have nice stadiums? Is it that you don't want to have, like, the players are getting paid gobs of money in football, more so than North American athletes typically, not for the sponsorship reasons. But football players aren't poor by any stretch of the imagination. I don't get the idea that football is all about money and a lot of fans are fixed. Is that's not how you want your football to go? You'll have to explain that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Yes. But the option is not removing money, because you can't do that. If you end up, let's say, removing money and saying we're going to have collective bargaining without everybody taking part, and everybody meaning La Liga, League One, the Bundesliga, all of those top divisions, then you've got a real problem, because you're going to end up with Saudi-like leagues just with all of the capital. And so have some collective bargaining where put in a cap. You have the financial fair play. Oh, I'm not wound up. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. But it's stuff that has to be talked about. I don't get wound up. I just correct stupidity. And irrespective, the health of Wrexham, the benefit of, I want Wrexham to come back in this one, because I want to go forward as far as we can. Tattoo. Well, we could, but I'm not going to be upset at Steve and people. Define ruining the game. There's like, this is just English mentality at its best. Of, we know better. We're going to take our group of around the world and spell it all, but we know best. But don't come into our backyard. That's one. Unless you're on our team and you're a good player, and then you can play for us for a bunch of money, then you're welcome. So serve a purpose. Kim says I'm wound up. See, this is how I am. I do this for a living. So I mean, I'm going to sit there. But when you have, it's very different to me when you have, let's look at Salford, the Manchester United crew that's gone in there and sunk money in forever. They don't have significant attendance. They're not paying for those players through their football revenue. They're paying for those players through cash injections. That's not a positive thing for football. Why? Because you're not building the club. You're not building the product. You're not building the connection with community. That's a very different exercise, whether it be Saudi money, whether it be the Manchester United crew in Salford, whether it be Accrington Stanley and the way they manage their things. You want to be able to push the marketing side of things. And that doesn't mean all the bells and whistles and a big flat screen TV and all sorts of drama and AI presentations like when you go to a sporting event in North America. That's not what I'm saying. Don't take the quality and characteristics that make football great, which is the game itself. Don't strip that away. But there's nothing wrong with coming up with a way to generate money through merchandise sales and streaming revenue and sponsorship and all of that sort of stuff. But yes, that's the message for the half. And I hope Parky does that. I really hope Parky goes out and gets that. Get the promotion, get more money, sink it into more players and move forward. I would love to see collective bargaining in football generally. But let's hope that Parky's on the bat phone getting ready for this one. And we get a Wrexham comeback. I'd be down for a 3-3 or a 4-4 draw and a whole bunch of goals in a crazy second half. Let's have one. And do I think it's outside the realm of possibilities? No. Somebody scold the out of Max and Tozer for their sleeping on those goals. Yeah, I just and to be fair, I don't get it. I would not want to be sinking my money in if I'm not getting the return, and the return is measured on is the club growing, and the club's not growing. What Rob and Ryan did, and yes, they weaponized their Hollywood stuff to be sprinkle a little dust on it to be able to draw people in. I don't think they imagined it would get this big. I just think I think it's funny to me that the stuff that ails English football is the stuff that they ignore, like the fan led fan review. If you Google that, fan review is a government initiated document to talk about the health of football and how to improve it. And the fans offline all replied, these are the ways that we correct football, and it's all common sense, easy to digest stuff, and it's interesting to read. And you say as an outsider, okay, that's what English fans say that is necessary, and then you get online and you see these weird comments from people who are looking to wind up. It's not wind up. It's just stupid. And it's offside of what the English population generally says, or at least in the fan-led review, fan-led football review. And it's just bad business sports governance. So I'm certainly with you there, John, on Coventry's status. And to be fair, I don't know if we're going to be better than at our top. Like when we hit max, you talk. Spencer Harris did an interview with Up the Town when they had their YouTube stuff going, and I think it's still on the internet. And they were talking about Wrexham's ability to capture sort of that North Wales fan base, geographic range, and the million people there. Which, if they can, Premier League is potentially on the table. In capturing the domestic crew, and if the internationals hold on, it's possible. Do I think the R&R signing up for Alpine was just for the sake of being invested in Alpine? No, I think that's potential, that if they do climb the ladder and they want to make a run at things because this grows bigger than they could be imagined, that they have access and resources to people who are potentially interested in pushing for the Prem. And to the top of the Prem. Are you talking of me? I am not a teacher. I always chuckle about this. It's not cool, I guess, to put a jersey on the outside of a jacket, which I get. But it's very different than the sports stuff where in North America where everybody has to have a jersey. So lined up for the second half, Wrexham going to go from right to left on your computer screen. Blackburn from left to right. We're getting ready to get it started. I'm going to hit hold on. I'm going to hit the refresh button and go live. Oh, it says I am already live. As we hit start, you guys will have to let me know how far behind I am to start this and whether I should hit the refresh button and load this back up, as we're at 10 seconds in and Wrexham with control in the penalty area. coming up. I'd like to see us with a little bit of gumption and go after for this one. Welcome, Chris. Always happy to have people scouting. Hoping for a replay here. Oh, turned off the screen. 45 seconds behind. Okay, well, I'll take the time while we're sitting in the midfield with this and hit the refresh button on the thing here in a second, and maybe wait for it to go out of play. Well, Arthur came back with it out of the mask, collected by the Coventry Blackburn keeper, and they turned it the other way. Hit the refresh button. I'll be back here in a second. Watch live. Loading up. I normally do that during the half. 46-13. It actually put me in the exact same situation. So it is what it is. I don't know enough about it to get into it, to be fair. Wrexham with it, collecting it, and I'm so used to going from right to left. A little bit of a giveaway there from Lee right in front of the area. Blackburn able to collect it, push it forward, looking, searching, shot over top, goes wide. Arthur's going to be able to collect that. But yes. Put his mask back on. That was. You could have played some Harlem Globetrotter in a minor chord. So nobody wanted the ball. Nobody wanted to touch it and clear it. And by the time they realized, they kind of gave it away. We had to deal with a threat. Another reminder, if you're joining late, a couple of things. This is where I'm at with the time. It sounds like I'm 40 seconds behind, which is a lot of time. So feel free to draw it back. No spoilers. Even if you do see a goal and it's ahead of where I am with the game, no spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers. Other than that, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we're into it. 2 minutes into the second half. Blackburn with control, and so far started to kind of look like the first half in the first 10 minutes that happened there, where it was all Blackburn control. Dolan over on the left side. Is that Dolan on the left side? What's he doing over there? Wrexham player down, George on his back, and so we're going to get a free kick. He did have a nice touch on that end line. Ooh, elbow to the head for George. That's what I'm hoping for. W&G. I know it's focused on the league and all that sort of stuff. But I would love a replay. I predicted a replay, but a 1-1 replay. I don't know if I like Ollie in the second half. I like Ollie in the first half to wear down defenders, to be that foil to maintain possession. I'm with you, Hugh, or HUW. I'm still pretty happy, to be fair. Shots fired. There are a lot of people who put a lot of stock into Dalby, and you listen to most of the podcasts, and I scratch my head because it's not what I see. But and that's why the reason is the search is there for strikers, I think. Yeah, John, I know that's the set off to it, but it's the magic of the FA Cup. I'm all for chasing it down all the way through. 3 games to make up to date, right? FGR, Crawley, and the MK Dons that we'll be pulling Tuesday matches for so far. But I would love to push this as far as we can push it. Interesting this half, Blackburn, the last 2 attempts down the pitch have come down the left because they spent their entire first half going down the right. Ooh, that's a flop that we flopped. Barnett there gave the ball away. It was in 3 defenders, and then he just trips up, falls down, and gets a free kick. Not much in that, but well done for drawing it in. And we saw that differently. That's okay. We will say I haven't been live, I guess, for the women's match, but since Saturday, fascinating day as far as the League Two competition went, with Stockport just being the only team that ran away. Late minute goal by Wimbledon, and so the table looks good. That's a foul and a yellow card coming for that one. Yes. Yeah, I do, Lewis. I want to go to Wrexham really bad. I was looking to go in over Easter this year, but we had a condo fire 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, and we're going to get that condo back. Looking to either move into that, possibly buy another place and sell that one, figure out what's going on. And so want to have the capital at hand. So just not going to go out of pocket quite yet. Make sure we get settled in. And then today we find out about my kid's kindergarten registration, where he's going to end up going too. So it's an exciting day here. Hopefully we get good news on that front. Don't want it to be a horrible Monday. But yeah, no, I'm going to Wrexham at some point. My in-laws are in Doncaster. Don't hold that against me. Mike, I'm the only person in the house who doesn't have a UK passport. Oh, Donnie. I've spent months and months and months in Donnie. That was the game I was going to go to. Families in Bessica. Ooh, head clash accidental there from EOC to the forward, but nothing called, and the forward's just coming to come back, rubbing his nose. Nothing too much in it. Settled in, no madness. I'm sure Blackburn would be happy to play this as Dolan. He's just everywhere. Oh, Dolan and George into it now. That was Dolan running through and getting him with a right, it looked like. I don't think it was intentional, but then George gave him a shove, and so they turned around. Hey, Shady. Yeah, elbow to the face, and George stood up and grabbed him and didn't like it, and Dolan, the tiny little chihuahua there. All good. Yeah, I don't think Dolan meant it. I think he was just trying to buzz around and do his buzzsaw thing that he's been doing the whole time, but he did collect an elbow to the chin. Whenever you get that elbow to the chin, you're going to get a little bit feisty, aren't you? Tozer back to Ogonkwo, 53rd minute, looking to build up through Max, push the ball forward. And let's get one early here, something before the 70th minute, just to make this exciting through the last part of the match in the second half. Blackburn says, no, we'll take control, thanks, and we'll build it through. Nope, Dolan behind him, and so away we go. Playing advantage says that's far enough. Lee pushing it forward. Dalby controlled, brings it back to Lee, searching, looks for Mullen. Nobody there, so he tries to flick it back to Lee, who can't quite run on it. Ball's free. Clipped out, pushed out, and they're going to be a throw to us. Outside of Tozer territory, but we'll pull that one in. And the chat's gone stone cold quiet. Take the opportunity, if you haven't been here before, subscribe button, like button, send it all out. We're here every match for Wrexham watching these. Feel free to join in. Mullen draws it down, and that will be a Tozer throw. Well done by him in a scrambly little challenge over on the right to just bang it off the shins and take the throw. Well, let's wait for it right now. Tozer bomb, short post, header, long post. Here it comes. Long throw in the air. Short post. Headed down. It's in the middle front of the box. It's there. McLean was looking to knock that one down, and I can't see who knocked Cannon, ran over somebody when he turned and spun. Don't think it was intentional, but that was an opportune flop there on the turn. Oh, no. I thought Cannon turned into him, but he stuck his hand out there. He did put his arm, though. It was a flop. That was a dive. But you can't stick your arms around a guy and expect him not to take the opportunity. Is there a professional flop? Whoa, we're at 4 now. Is there a professional flop? Because that's what that was. That was not just searching. That was knowing that you had the opportunity to take it. Blackburn left side. Do they just, is the pitch really bad on one side? It's fascinating. I haven't seen build up play so frequent and so common down one side of the pitch. Because even when they bring it back to the center backs, and Dolan's actually going to push it over to the right. Last half, they would bring it back to the center backs and they just keep it over on the same side until they found an opening. Yeah, I think Kim, to your trivia question, I think you have a great question, and I think John has it right. I can't think of back-to-back losses. But let's be fair, as we climb this ladder, it's going to happen. If we're able to hold on to a promotion spot and move forward, I would be shocked if we're in the mix next season. Oh, W&G with the stats. May of 2022. Right side, Dolan with it. Skipping towards the center, draws it in. It's in the middle, left, and stepped over by Gallagher, left it for Smoldich, and it was intercepted. And away we go. Dalby gets control over to Lee, left side. Moves forward, finds McLean. No, just a foot too far, but a really good push. Spooky that one, W&G. Oh, are we doing the cheer on the passes back and forth? And then the Wrexham fans respond with a large cheer when it goes kicked out of bounds. Well done. Gotta love the fan battle in the stands. Yes, JD, we brought 7K. I'd say they've got more than 7K, but not full on the home side by any stretch. Mendy's enjoying a Red Bull. Palmer's looking wantingly from the sideline. We'll see what the second half subs end up looking like. Both, it'll be interesting to see if the lone players get a chance, or maybe the young academy players from Blackburn, or how confident are they feeling up 3-1. Whoops. The cleats give out, and it's a turnover. Blackburn turning the other way. Opportunity played in front. Gallagher there clears. That's got to be a foul. All right. 4-1. I thought that was a foul in the box on the play that wiped out Evans there defensively, but not called. Max at fault again. The cleats give out. Turns, slips, turn away. To be fair, we had three guys back, but Smoldich leaves it over for Gallagher, and right there, 50-50 on a giveaway there on that challenge from Gallagher on George. Let's see it from this angle. Yeah, Gallagher slid in, and did he get to the ball? Did he get to the ball? I don't know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Tally that one up. Well, it'll be interesting to see who the subs are for sure. Right, John? I wasn't expecting this from Gallagher, and I'd have to look up the stats, but I know he doesn't have more than 2 goals. But he's laid off 2 great passes to Smoldich early, both from the right to the left. One wasn't good. He had an opportunity to get there. Donnie's got too much class not to stay up. And who's chasing them? They've got 6 points on Sutton. They've got a game in hand they're tied on points with Colchester, and is it Grimsby or is it Salford? I'd have to look at the table. But they're tied in points with 3, but they've got a game in hand over one of them. And Sutton has been playing a lot better. To be fair, I think they've been playing better. They've been playing better than their points suggest, but they're running out of runway, and they're far enough behind. I can't see them, even with all their draws, gaining. They're not a club that threatens offensively. They're just going to draw their way to oblivion as the best that they can come up with. it's a slow growth, right? You want to see as much magic as you can, and I would love for more magic. And Hugh, I'm with Brendan on this one. Our midfield is I'm competent and confident with. Cannon, I'm not as sold on. He's hit or miss. Today he's had a great game actually, and he's been in the mix, both in nicking possession, maintaining possession, and obviously his goal was a cracker to open up the scoring. But we need better center backs. Flipped in too far to the right, nobody there for Blackburn to run onto and collect. So Arthur just puts it in the breadbasket, moves forward. But we need pace in the center back position and somebody to run with Mullen. Dalby, Bickerstaff, Mullen, Fletcher, for various reasons, have issues doing that. Fletcher, age, and he's got class. He can hang in League One for sure. But banged up and even when he had his hat trick game, he was saying his legs were jelly during that one. Gotta love it. Hey, we're losing 4-1 in the fourth round of the FA Cup to a championship team. There's only 3 teams that made it out of the 4th tier or lower. Maidstone United pushing its way through, Newport getting beat by Man U and us. So things are good. You always want good results. You want to have a better day than what we've had, but I ain't gonna complain about it. Opportunistic. Played through. Mullen just a foot behind on that one from Dalby as the setup. A little bit of a shoulder charge. McLean's not able to collect it, and Blackburn turns the other way. Ooh, that's opportunistic. I don't know if Blackburn is going to be relegated. They have been struggling. Dolan looking in, pushing it over to the right. And I don't know if we get revenge. League One's going to be is a different beast to me. If we can do mid-table next year, League One, get promotion, get mid-table, secure ourselves, and let us do a slow build, get the academy running, and get that going. We've got some infrastructure to build, some sustainability to develop, and I'm hoping in a decade we're talking championship near the top moving forward. It's going to be a long, slow, joyous, happy growth, and it's going to make all those people who look at the club as outsiders and frustrate them. Blackburn to me is different than Shrewsbury, kind of similar position, actually further down in the standings, but they're in the mix with their goals for. Like they've got capacity, and they've added, a couple of young strikers to help them out. To be fair, though, other than that little hissy fit he had with George Evans after he elbowed the guy in the face, which I'd be more apologetic, but hey, what do I know? I thought that Dolan had himself a good game. I thought he looked impressive, but petulant. Yeah. So look at I'll bring up the just make it there's 3 players that I'm interested in seeing, or 4. You thought so? I thought Dolan was good all the way down that right side, because they've got 2 guys from their academy, young guys. Ayari's one of their lone players who just came in from Brighton, 20. I didn't hear Crescenti. I was wondering if Atchison was going to come in. That was the name that I was kind of hoping might get some minutes at the end. He's 17, and he's part of their U18. So, yes, the FA Cup is the only one that we care about, or should be. I don't care about the EFL Cup. Certainly don't give a damn about the trophy. But the FA Cup, you care about. and there's money to be made. I mean, what are we going to put in our back pocket? 200,000 quid from the run that we made this year, not including ticket sales. That's just on money that we've got from the wins. You take 45% of your ticket sales away from this one, which is why you'd kind of hope that Blackburn would have brought in people, but not quite. We're getting there, but you always like to have your giant killings, and we just didn't pull one out this year, but we had our shot, and that's awesome. This is absolutely true. I would love to get Bickerstaff out there having a run. I think you leave Palmer because he's just getting over his calf injury, so you don't put him out there. It would be the only thing that could go wrong is if somebody goes down with an injury in this one now. I do see Mendy up, and I'd like to see Tunnicliffe and McFadden get a shot out there. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's 4-1. Do I think we're coming back from this? No. I think it'd be heartbreaking. I think Ogonkwo is that's a shoulder charge. Nothing in that one. I wouldn't put it outside the realm of possibilities that Ogonkwo will sign with a contractual term that locks it up and says promotion is required. And maybe he's already had that conversation, wants to wait to see whether we guarantee and solidify it. When you're as young as he is and you have your opportunity to be in a place that you're going to get minutes. Oh, the cheeky search. Whoo. Lee from beyond midfield, looking at a shot from range because the keeper was out, looked up and he had it there. And if that was on target, that was a goal. That would have been cheeky. And I mean, I think we can afford Ogonkwo, and I think he's a fan favorite, and he's loved. And here comes EOC, so we'll see. Is it Tunnicliffe coming in? Is it McFadden? Tunny. It would be nice to actually, because this is something I've been looking forward to. Limited opportunities for me to be able to see Tunnicliffe because of just when streaming came in the National League, we didn't get it as my computer's doing the circle of death and streaming. I'm all good with those subs. Come on now, computer. Oh, if I had a choice, if you're telling me it's a straight choice, yes, I'm taking promotion from League Two and moving up. But they're not mutually exclusive, and you'd like to run as far as you can. And I think we still, despite the injuries that we've had, I still think we have a deep enough squad for the League Two competition that you can afford to have a bit of a run in the FA Cup, and without hurting yourself too bad. It is what it is. This is probably going to be the end of the line for us this year. That's okay. Things are rosy. It's always sunny in Wrexham. That would be interesting to see, actually. When McLean had that one run out as a striker, it'd be interesting to see whether up against better quality players, a better quality team, whether McLean could do some damage up front in a striker role. Going to have to get the shots on goal and get an update here. It tends to be that we're late in the process. You look at all of our signings that we've had in the last couple of years, and they tend to come in late. And so I'd expect Parky picks his target. Parky wants his target. Parky doesn't settle for anybody else. Passes are 491 to 209 for the game. Shots given update there. Not a lot towards goal since it's gone 4-1. And they're in the area here again, left side of the penalty area, looking, bring it on back, flipped up into the air, goes to the far side, and it'll be cleared out. Just a long thump down over to the center backs, and Blackburn comes again. 532. I'm only at 491 on FOTMob. Could be obviously behind. There's no disappointment from me. And I'm with you. There should be no disappointment from anybody. We've had a run. We've done our damage. We've put some money into the football fortune side of the accounting bracket. That'll offset a transfer payment a little bit. On we go. Hopefully we get. I want to see something to build off of, and if we don't get it for January, then we have to be very active in the off season. We're going to need, if we get promotion, even if we don't get promotion, we need some improvements to our back line, and we've been saying that since the start of the season. Turned, well played. Wrexham coming forward through the middle of the pitch, searching. We're going to have a crack. Saved. I think had to do more than that, Jones, but took a crack. Relatively easy stop. Had the opportunity with two players to his left that could have looked for an opportunity over that direction. Didn't. I like the personality. Don't like the quality. Sorry. He made the highlight. He did the job, and for that he'll always be remembered. But Arthur is a much better stopper. The goal locking him down and securing him. Flicked up over, can't keep it in front of the net, and Blackburn gives that one to Ogonkwo, and away it turns the other way. Those patches are getting ripped off the jerseys. Well, we're in a bit of a lull, and while you're still here, if you haven't hit the subscribe button down below, go ahead and do that. Subscribe, like. John has a different take on. See, I think it was a wise move for him to quit, but it is what it is. Down the left-hand side, Dalby tries to maintain possession, gets it to Lee, still looking for it. McLean goes in the air, loses it. Blackburn gains control. We're on the road, though, aren't we, for that one? I'll have to bring it up here. Cleared away. Yeah, away again. We need a good away performance. It's been a while, and now people are starting to talk about it. Yeah, and he's getting that opportunity. He's got all the talent in the world, and he still pulls out some stuff that you're just like, holy moly. Yeah, no, I'm with you. He hasn't played well today, but he's not everybody's going to be perfect, and he's a different level to Ben at this stage, as of today, right? Like not career wise, or maybe even not top end wise. I mean, Foster was obviously in the Prem and doing his thing for years, but Ogonkwo's hopefully our future. That's where my vote is. Yeah, that's the part that scares me is I don't want it to be the story of our season that we just can't do anything away, and it's going to be on the guys to come back next weekend hungry after Blackburn just maintains control right along the midfield stripe. Did he get slew-footed there, or did he just fall? Doesn't matter. He maintains control, and that was well done by him. Number 11, that was impressive. Is this the end? No, not the end. It's only the beginning. Just Blackburn just swarming us right now, and that one's going to go wide. No, Arthur's going to collect it, and away they go. The fans all know it. We've been screaming it forever, Francis. We're just too slow. We need some pacey guys, So the question of the players that we have, does Hosanna get drawn back in? Does he have a place? If Mendy's over on the right side, McLean's on the left, can you find a place? It's sad. No, it's not sad. It's a fourth-tier team playing a championship team, and we've had away, and we've had a bad performance. It sucks. I'd rather win, but I'm not sad. Things are too good for Wrexham right now. The silver lining. There it is. We found it. Can you see the negotiation tactics? Wow, but you played poorly against... opportunity for Blackburn in the area. Had a chance to dance over to the left and lost the ball in his own feet, and it got turned around, turned away, and then Blackburn collects it again. Moving forward into the penalty area. Shot. Whew. Goes wide. Just recycling in. And we should do a roll call. We haven't done the roll call. So let's swap this out and do the tickers. Let's pull up the state ticker first, because you've called for U.S. roll call. These are the only states that we haven't had anybody from. And I think we've had Iowa. Yeah. I was there. If you're from Alabama, Alaska, Connecticut, yell it out, because we haven't had you. Mullen coming out. The safeties, Palmer and Dalby going to get a chance to, or Palmer and Dalby, Palmer and Bickerstaff going to get a chance up front. Still waiting 13 states to get pulled in, and they're up on the ticker down below. Yes, absolutely. I could say your name, but I can't read that. But yes, the focus is on the league. We've got a job ahead to do. We'll talk about the table and where we're at after Saturday after this, and then we'll transition on. Next 3 games, Salford, Bradford, and Sutton. And then what'll be interesting is we've got Sutton, Crew, and MK to make up. Usually after a team is eliminated from the FA Cup, they announce shortly thereafter when those Tuesdays are going to be. So we'll figure that all out. Hopefully spread them out somewhere, somewhat. I would love to get to that Stockport game at the end of the season and be in control. I'd like to see it a game where if we win it, we can take the championship, but we've got promotion secured. I don't want to go into the last day having a heart attack. I'm having enough time dealing with things as it is. Yeah, just watching Palmer's calf, right? Good on the away fans. 7,000 of you to go out and watch the Magic. Still screaming, still yelling, still giving it out. McLean. Free kick, headed away, knocked back down by Jones and collected. Mendy filling in for the center backs. He's going to put it over to the left side, and nobody home. Nobody home. Nobody from the other states. So let's flip the switch a little bit, and let's see if there's any Canadians here. A far less on the necessary places that we haven't got on the list. Newfoundland, the Northwest Territories, Saskatchewan. If you're from one of those 3. Oh, Virginia. Did I not take it off? I'll do that right now. That way I don't forget. State, Virginia. No, those are the ones that haven't been. Virginia I've got. I don't have West Virginia. Virginia I've scratched off. Yeah, I've scratched VA off. You have a Newfoundland. Does that count? I wish. Big old dog. Oh, I didn't scratch off Russia because I need 30 minutes to scratch it all off. I'll write that one down. And that was when I was healthy. I don't have an excuse for that. We'll go back to the country ticker, put that one up there, and I've got to add Russia to the list. Can I do that live? What happens when I do it live? Should be added to the list now. Anybody else, if you're not from one of those countries, feel free to let it out. That's, I got to update the number. Does that make it 49? Palmer getting a chance, gets cut off. 49, looking for country number 50 if you're on that list. Nine minutes left. Be interesting. I don't think a lot of added time is necessary, especially in a 4-1 game. You'd expect it comes out with just a 1 or a 2 minute. I don't think there's been any injury time. It's just been the goals that have slowed it down, added it up. Salford away, Bradford at home, Sutton away, and then we get into some fun ones. Notts at home, the Dons away. I thought we had the Dons to make up. Does that mean we've added that Dons game? Is it just Crawley and Forest Green? Our Shrewsbury game, and it doesn't say postponed here, and maybe that's just because they bumped it around and we've actually set our MK Dons up for the 20th. Yeah, it looks like it. That game's already been set. So one of those games is on Tuesday the 20th. I'm assuming that's that's a Tuesday. Yeah, so they've brought that game and scheduled it. Welcome, Logan. Nice to have you here. Frustrating day, but that is what it is. Oh, thank you. Corrected. Wales is on the list. It's been fascinating. Very early on, we've had people that actually live near the stadium, and so they're able to hear things before we're able to broadcast it, not knowing what happens. But Crawley home has to be scheduled, as does I think it's Sutton away. Crawley home and Forest Green. Sorry, I said Sutton. Forest Green away have to be rescheduled yet. But they have, since I've looked last, and I don't know when they did it because I haven't really looked at anything in the last week, to be fair, with the whole appendix removal, is they have scheduled the MK Dons one for the 20th of February. And I don't know when that announcement came out, but that's great. Get one in February, put one in March, put one in April, spread them out if you can. No more postponements, no more cup competitions, just one single goal, and that is secure promotion to League One. And then we can talk about next year and what we think is going to happen. I can tell you 20 years, since I looked at the numbers, no back-to-back-to-backs for promotion through the 3 leagues. Well, Gonko could have probably done more there, just swept that out. But he's good for one of those every game where he just uniquely thumps one out. They found the MK Dons one, February 20th. That'll be the second game because we opened up against them, right? And so I suspect we'll get those ones set pretty soon after this game's done. And then we just line them up, worry about improving our away record, maintaining the power that we have at the racecourse. And even if we don't improve our away record, at least if we can secure what we do at home, we're still okay. But I don't want to have that away record be our story going into the season, just missing on promotion because we couldn't figure it out. So big game next weekend just to get some confidence going here. Blackburn with it, took some time there before they got it into play. Moving forward. Yeah, it would have been crazy, right, Swirly? Yeah, I think that's the plan, and we're still looking for that 22 acres that we can end up. It's where all the cool people are, and I hope to see everybody as we go forward and the hunt. It's interesting. You look at the statistics for other watch parties, and they end up getting a big spike in September, October, lull through until February, and then it spikes up again at the end of the season. So I'm expecting a good little run to the end of the year. I'm thankful and take the opportunity to say thanks to W&G, who does the out-of-town scoreboard when it runs. Nothing to go on today, obviously, so an opportunity for him to just enjoy. Brendan, who's got the flop counter. 16, the record. We're stuck at 4 here today. Not as many flops. Seems that everybody seems to be a little bit on cruise control, but yeah, when it gets to that side of the pitch, for sure. So we'll have a total of 1, 2. Sutton's actually a Tuesday game. MK Dons is a Tuesday game. So our February is stacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games through the month of February. And we'll go back-to-back Tuesdays on the 13th and the 20th. So the 3rd, Salford, then at home on the 10th, and then it gets busy. Away and home, away, away. Still singing. Love the fans. Thanks, Yvonne. Appreciate it. And a good reminder for everybody. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, you want to come back, you'll get notification. It's up there. Hit the subscribe button. Come up with other videos throughout. Tend to look a lot at regulations and stuff. I'm not so much a preview guy, a match preview guy. There's lots of people who do that. Have all these plans, just things like appendixes having to come out, slow my opportunity to do what I want to do. I'm going to have to go lie down for a bit. Going to be a free kick from a dangerous area, just 2 in the wall. Right-footed. Smoldich is there. He's going to play it forward to him, and they're just going to play it over into the corner. I love that we're the loudest. Down 4-1, it is still sunny days in Wrexham. How does he get there? He's a ninja. Like, plays the ball there, they play it over, and he just loops himself around. Nobody picks him up, gets the ball, has the kick. Ogonko there for that one, but just always dangerous. Lee flicks it through, gets stalled up, lost possession, turns the other way, and here comes Blackburn down the right-hand side. We did. I got no complaints about the effort. Just as we've been talking about through the watch party, the issue, 2 defensive lapses, can't have that, and just pace. We need pace. Find some pace, which is why anybody that we bring in that's over the age of 28, 29, I'm not really that excited about it. We've got lots of players that fill that role of having class, quality, but a little bit behind in the step. We need some burners. Just 1 minute of added time, so this one will be wrapped up relatively early, and I've been sitting there with the half button set up the entire time. And what I haven't done is I haven't looked up the shots on goal to see what the stats are. Lots of possession, 68%. Update the stats so that they're there for the end of the game. Man of the match. Well, it's got to be Cannon, doesn't it? Anybody have an objection to that one? He's had the shot. He's had maintained possession through the midfield when we had that run in the first half. Had himself a solid game. Lee played much better than he has as late. McLean busting his hump. Haven't noticed Tunney, and maybe that's a good thing. There's the whistle. That's the half. Stop the clock. Blackburn with a 4-1 win. An enterprising game. We were there for 15 minutes, and then just a couple of mistakes that you can't make at this level, and just getting Smoldic has too much class, and we don't have enough pace. So it is what it is. Just want to take an opportunity, look over the League Two standings, just because I haven't really talked about it since we've been into it. Give me a second here. Bring up the standings just before we go. Oh, there it is. So 5 points back with a game in hand over Stockport. So want to be able to keep pace with them. They've got a couple of makeup games as well. We've got 3 to make up. They've got 2. So they'll be playing some Tuesdays. Mansfield, that late winner, 97th minute, I think it was, by Wimbledon to strip that one away. And so they've got that there. Barrow earned their draw. So that 4th place tier, they drew knots. That 4th place divide between automatic promotion and the playoffs. Barrow's at the top of the pile, 1 point behind Mansfield, 2 points behind us. We have 2 games over them, though. 2 games over Cruz, also on 50 points. And then it falls back down to MK Dons. We have a game on them, and we are 4 points up. And then, I mean, worst case scenario for us, we end up in the playoffs. I don't want to walk down that pile. Hello, Sarah Ricketts from Blackburn. Congratulations on your win. Good luck on the next round. And we carry on, focusing on the league, moving up to League One. And more importantly, what the hell is going to happen over the next 2 days? Blackpool has shown what we've expected and said throughout. We need some center backs with some pace. And if we add an extra striker up front, great. Midfield goal, we're left. And yeah, that's exactly why I have zero interest on touching it. I do not want 25% chance, roll the lottery. And what always happens with the playoffs is you get some team that just snuck in that ends up, you just don't want to play them. They're just on a good run of form. Oh, Blackburn, not Blackpool. My reading comprehension sucking. Oh, she said Blackpool, not Blackburn. Got it. My mistake. I just assumed. I saw the black and the P. I just went with it. Anyway. Well, technically by a day, right? Newport gets their feather in their cap. They made it up as far as we did. Was there a League 3 team or Tier 3 team in I don't believe there was. I think if I recall correctly, there were only 3 teams outside of the Prem and the Championship that made it this far. There's only one left, Maidstone United, 6th tier, crazy, first time since 1978. Going to get a run at it. Good luck to them. We've got stuff to do. Hey, at the end of the day, thanks for being here. I'm going to punch clock. I'm going to go lie down, regather my strength, and then get some work done today. That's where we're at, and I'll work through the night and shifting everything around. Loved being here. Loved having you. Enjoying the community. We're back Saturday for Salford. Away game. Important. Hopefully I'm fully recovered by then. Would have been nice to see us play Newcastle. Absolutely. I would have enjoyed it and taken it, but that's fine. But now officially 3, 4, and 5 are out. 3 was out earlier, and we'll take that. That's fine. Feather in our cap, making it this far, and we go on. Bring in some younger guys, please, with some pace. and let's build towards hopefully an extended stay in League One for at least 1 or 2 seasons, 3 seasons probably. As we enter home, and I think if we do that and we're prudent and we build sustainably and we add quality guys and we move forward, I think with the way that things are going, Wrexham's got a home in the championship and maybe beyond. It's still sunny days, still a good time, and it's going to be a challenge all the way through. None of this is easy, but we've got the fan base, we've got the ownership group that's pushing the agenda. People are signing up and becoming Wrexham fans every single day. My neighbor just became one a couple of weeks ago. So we got to get that academy going, and I got to get that video out. It's the most important aspect. And if anybody has 22 acres somewhere downtown, or not downtown, but somewhere in Wrexham proper that they can set aside, yeah, thanks for that, Lewis. It's those sorts of comments that we like to hear, because we like the model, but we really need to get that 22 acres secured and get those 2-3 stadiums, both for the women's team, because that's where they'll be playing, and also for the development of the academy, so that we can start to rebuild and retool and do those sorts of things, rather than just being a category 4. I want to see all the youth having a run and staying with the club and building it up, and saying, they're one of ours, just like we do with Davis when he's out there. It's been a blast. Unfortunate outcome, unfortunate result, but we focus on what matters, and that is earning our way into League One. And that battle starts again on Saturday. Salford away. We need an away performance. So feel free to join in for that one. Oh, you wanted to know what I do? I'm a barrister in Vancouver proper. And so I'm spend my days normally standing on my feet in court, but I move my hearings around and things like that so I can do this and have myself a little bit of hobby. And that means days like today, I'm going to have a lot of work to do tonight, and that's fine. The clock doesn't stop running. I just shift everything around. So, but yeah, we were, I mean, 70s, 80s, right? Up in the championship, taking names. And then we had the fall and the Hamilton era and the collapse that happened and the fans that rescued it. And I think most international fans know the history relatively well. But it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. I hope we consider it this year and improve on it, because it's the only question mark for the second half. If we can address our away form, we get promotion. It's that simple. If we continue to have the struggles, and I don't want it to be a narrative, I don't want it to be a thing. And the easiest way to put that to bed is to show up in Salford on the weekend and have ourselves a class performance. And so that's what's necessary. That's what the ask is. That's what Parky's got to have the guys ready for. And thanks, Sarah, and hello to your hubby. I appreciate it. Okay. On that note, have yourselves a wonderful Monday. We will see you in 6 days, early morning risers again, for those of us on the West Coast in North America. But we do what we do because this is a fun little ride. So thanks for being a part of this one, another part of the journey, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Cheers. Subscribe before you leave.